The one thing I know is love is all. And speaking of love, this is my mama.
Is this on? Yes, it is. Oh, I wrote this, and it doesn't nearly say how I feel after listening to all of you tonight, but I will still go with it. I stand before you tonight having really been and honestly humbled, having just witnessed what love and resilience and strength mean to so many of our unedited women. Where we are in the world today can barely be understood or survived without some help from one of my favorite writing aids, which is the metaphor. So here we go. Today we are on the cusp of a dilemma. Do we weather the storm or run for cover? Do we hide in the foxholes or storm the barricades? One thing is for sure, sitting on the fence isn't going to cut it. Never before have so few done so much damage to so many. Those whom we have either elected into power or allowed to seize power are bringing our wonderful planet to the brink of disaster on so many fronts. Climate change, which for several centuries was plodding along like a normal evolutionary elephant, is now raging through the world like a rabid tiger. Our complete inability to accept and stop our wasteful use of the Earth's resources has resulted in climate change accelerating to the point where it is disrupting the historical and cyclical recovery ways of nature. As a result, there are more and more countries worldwide who are now battling drought, fires, floods, hurricanes, and rising waters due to the melting ice caps. The result for many countries has been wars for land and food and power. This has caused a massive growth in the number of displaced people all around the world who cannot return to their homes or even to their countries, and are now seeking safe haven from other countries worldwide. Many countries have been generous, but no matter how large or privileged they are, some now fear being overtaken by immigrants and losing their privilege and power. And this is a terrible thing to have happened to all of us. I agree with the speaker here who said we have to become one. Wars have reached a magnitude never before seen in terms of the number of wars that are now being waged and the fact that they never seem to end. They only go underground for a little bit and then erupt again. Now, wars are of one kind or another have been around ever since humans have recorded their history. The difference now is that wars are fought in real time around the world and broadcast for all to see. The sad fact is that what we actually see is a version edited by a few people who benefit from these wars and who know all too well the number one rule of a successful war, which is to divide and conquer and distract your enemies by setting them against each other so that they will leave you to your victory. These people are interested in only two things, power and wealth, which they already have more of than any other group in human history, and they see themselves as invulnerable to any laws or moral beliefs. Well, I hear you say, I didn't come here tonight to be told and to be more depressed than I am already, not only about my own life, but about the fate of the rest of humanity. Well, that's not my intention. I am here to call you to action, and to tell you that we as unedited women can help turn this tide around and reestablish sanity in our institutions' natural recovery of our planet. I am here also to tell you that I am seeing an uprising of regular people worldwide. Think of how powerful the Elbows Up campaign has been, bringing joyously together all Canadians from every part of the country in a campaign to buy Canadian, support local industries, and rebuild our economy. Not only in Canada, but around the world. People who have wealth and power, but who do not believe that they are above the law, either of the courts or nature, are stepping up and starting initiatives which will change the face of this disaster. There are political leaders past and present around the world who are speaking out against the Trumps and the Putins and others of their ilk. They are forming alliances and trading partnerships which will short-circuit some of the economic damage. Hopefully, these alliances will also address the starvation, displacement, and other dehumanizing effects of war. More importantly, these leaders are returning to a way of speaking to one another in a respectful and civil way that we have missed so badly for the last several years. Also daily, there are reports both here in Canada and around the world of very successful people, men and women of all professions, business, journalism, entertainment, medicine, law, people of every walk of life, who are taking, and every race and color as well, who are quietly and in groups taking their own hard-earned money and power, and they have begun to do some of these things, to demand that the world leaders find lasting peace and be morally and ethically responsible to those who they have represent and stop lining their own pockets, to demand honesty in journalism and online communication, to build homes for the homeless, to help those who want to start a business to get a loan, to ensure that children and adults all over the world get the food they need to survive, to build schools where they are needed throughout the world, and to provide the money and security for the children to attend those schools. 2 years ago, I joined a group called the Global Grandmothers Council. What a wonderful bunch they are. They're women from all around the world, all different races and cultures, who want to bring peace to the world and help to save the planet before it's too late. Their voices are strong and confident, they are forming working groups in their own communities around the world, communicating through their own publications and on social media. I truly believe that we as unedited women need to meet the challenge of all of these groups in any way we can, to help return our world to a balanced and peaceful state. We unedited women in this coming year must design and establish our own initiatives and move forward with love. This love must be a strong, all-encompassing love of all living things, animals and people on this planet. This love must insist on moral boundaries and an acceptance of human rights, but not at the loss of responsibility. This love must believe in the possibility of recovery, not just of our natural environment, but also for all of those who live in this world. Unedited women, our time is now. Thank you.